It's time to put your health in your own hands. Get ready to learn from today's top health and wellness innovators and thought leaders on Optimal Health Radio. Now, here's your host.
Hi, everyone. This is Tammy Patzer, and I'm really excited to introduce today's guest, Mark Stutheit. He is a scientifically validated healer, and he has a long and successful professional career in marketing, client services, and information technology. Mark grew up on a remote family farm where he learned the value of hard work and the power and beauty of nature. Mark's early life was influenced by the loss of his father at the age of 10 and his own struggles with respiratory problems as a child. These early roots inspired Mark to become interested in natural health, holistic healing, and personal development. After pursuing various healing modalities for many years, Mark's life was forever altered in 2012 when he met Guruji Trivedi, founder of the Trivedi Effect. Through Guruji Trivedi's blessings and guidance, Mark experienced profound personal transformation on all levels. Mark's desire to explore and understand his own innate healing abilities compelled him to join the Trivedi Healers Mastery Program. Through his association with Guruji Trivedi, Mark developed his ability to harness and transmit the wealth of nature to living organisms and non-living materials, known as Biofield Energy Transmissions. Mark entered into the arena of science to validate his energy healing abilities. Welcome, Mark.
Hello, how are you today?
Great. So, Mark, tell me more about the Trivedi Effect. Tell me exactly what it is.
The Trivedi Effect is an extraordinary, unprecedented, and evidence-based phenomenon that can transform the cellular structure of living organisms. It can alter the atomic structure of non-living material, and it can revolutionize an individual's life. For human beings, it's the last part that's important. The Trivedi Effect can transform and potentiate living things, which is us. So people who encounter the Trivedi Effect end up being transformed and enter to serve a better and higher purpose.
That's really a phenomenal explanation of it. So in other words, the Trivedi Effect is harnessing the intelligent energy that some people think of as God or a higher power or the universe or the God of their understanding. Is that an accurate interpretation?
Exactly, and you can hear all four of those terms used. I've used all four myself, and they all mean the same thing. This energy comes from God, source, from the universe. That's exactly correct.
The creator. So it's a creative life force energy, and it's also intelligent. So tell me more about how authentic is the Trivedi Effect?
It is very authentic. Mr. Trivedi used his own money and time, incredible sacrifice to conduct experiments on plants, animals, materials in test tubes, and he has very carefully received feedback from his clients, which is people. So there's a lot of information coming back. I mean, the people, we are people. We're not animals, plants, or cells. So the feedback coming back from people is the most important. All of his clients have given him feedback on how much difference this has made in his life, and you can see this feedback on the website, TrivediEffect.com. But even before that, and during that, he has done experiments, very careful double-blind experiments on plants and animals that show a very definite, substantial, concrete effect that is measurable and it is reported in many scientific journals.
Yeah, and the research that I've done on the Trivedi Effect, I've been able to find more than 4,000 scientific experiments, and they've been published in more than 350 publications in international peer-reviewed scientific journals. And his work has also been cited in more than 4,000 papers around the world, which that's quite a few citations about this type of work.
Yes, it is.
And I know that you can find his work at Ivy League universities, including the National Institutes of Health. So that's a pretty phenomenal record, if you think about it, because most scientists, when you think about the sheer volume of experiments, I doubt they would perform that many experiments, more than 4,000, to really show that this phenomenon is really real. So about you, now you're actually a scientifically validated energy transmitter, energy conduit, life force energy healer. How can somebody be sure that you also have been validated and documented?
Well, you can find, I participated in 2 experiments, one in 2016 and one in 2017. You can see these experiments on my website, markstutheit.com, the press releases that were generated that reported the experiments. They were very impressive. They were double-blind experiments conducted with the best possible scientific procedures. They were done in a setting where I just simply focused my intent on a particular substance and asked God to help me, and that's exactly what happened. The results were pretty dramatic as far as the one experiment done on a nutraceutical. The ability of this nutraceutical to reduce the inflammatory chemicals was increased by 40%. The other experiment I did with vitamin D3, the vitamin D3 that I affected, not I, but that I allowed God to affect is a better way to put it. This vitamin D3 now produces over 200% more mineralization compared to what it does, normal vitamin D3. So, and you can find all these documented on my website or on if you go to just type in my name into Google or Bing, type in my name followed by nutraceutical, or type in my name followed by D3, and you can see various media outlets reporting these experiments with the summary, a nice summary of the experiments and what the results were.
Right. So people can find the information on your website, or they can just Google or Bing your name and the vitamin D or the nutraceutical, and different press will come up talking about the experiment and with all the basic information. So that's a really good way to look you up, because I know that there has been quite a bit of press related to this phenomenon lately. So in other words, the fact that you're scientifically validated, with most healers who work with energy, and you made the point that I think it needs to be very clear, you are a conduit or a transmitter of the energy, and the work or the energy is actually from the God of your understanding, or the whatever your belief system is. So tell me, is this a religion? Because I bet there's a lot of my listeners and they're thinking to themselves, well, it sounds good and everything, but it sounds like it might, because you said the word God, many people interpret that as a religion. Does this have anything to do with religion at all?
That's an excellent question, and the answer is no, it really does not. People who benefit from energy transmissions, for example, come from every conceivable background you can imagine. Not only do they vary in their age and their health condition and their beliefs and their dogmas and their genders and their races, they also differ in their religious affiliations and their existing dogmas and creeds. And every conceivable religion on the planet, atheists, agnostics, can benefit, because it doesn't matter what you believe. It just matters that you are open and receptive to the energy. The energy is there. You might call it God. You might call it source energy. You might call it the universe. You might call it universal consciousness. You can call it whatever you want. As long as you're receptive, it will help you.
So what's really interesting about that, it's funny because I just had a conversation with my sister, who's very much a Christian. And of course, she believes in God the Father and Jesus and everything. And when I said to her, it was the energy of the God of your understanding, she had this whole litany of questions related to that. And I kept repeating, it's not religion, it is, the God of your understanding, or the life force energy, the creator energy. And so it was kind of interesting because she really reflected to me how strong people's belief systems are, and that things have to be a certain way. And so, in other words, this energy, of course, does not have anything to do with religion at all. It's literally the creation energy, and science talks about everything as energy all the time. So I mean, people have won Nobel Prizes, and people have really devoted all kinds of energy to the study of energy and physics and the way the universe has happened. So would you say, you talked a little bit in the beginning, you said that this creative life force energy can work on non-living things and living things, and the living things, of course, would be fruits, vegetable, agriculture, animals, pets, and then, of course, human beings. What happens during one of these life force blessings or these life force energy transmissions?
Well, the basic idea is that the person who's administering the energy transmission, you can call it a blessing, an energy transmission. I think both terms are equally valid and appropriate. They are going to ask the God of their understanding to flow through them into the subject. And then the subject is normally asked to, sit in a comfortable position, either sit with a spine straight or lie down, and start a prayer to the God of their understanding. And then shortly after that, the recipient will be asked to stop their prayer and just stay in silence for 10 or 15 minutes, let the energy do that work, and that's it. And if the system works properly, then the energy flows through into the recipient, and then that makes a difference in some area of their life.
So there's no protocol, there's nothing special to do. And can you talk a little bit, I'm always curious when, you say to start a prayer, what would that prayer be? I mean, do you have an example of like maybe what you say to the God of your understanding? Are you asking for specifics, or are you just asking for, like, dear God, please do the great, whatever is necessary for the greatest good?
Exactly. And I still remember my very first energy transmission. The moderator said, okay, close your eyes and start a prayer to the God of your understanding. And then my brain kind of sputtered there, just like your sister's, because I had all kinds of conceptions and preconceptions and things, and I had to sort through them and say, okay, what exactly is the God of your understanding? And I had to think about that for a while. Then I had to think about, okay, what do I really want to pray for? Now, at that time in my life, and that was over 6 years ago, I did have something very specific, kind of a concrete, immediate, urgent need that I was having a problem with. So I asked for help with that problem. At this point in my life, now that I've been with the Trivedi Effect for over 6 years, when I pray, I normally pray that I can just stay connected to the God of my understanding and keep on receiving the Trivedi Effect, because based on my experience the last 6 years, that's more important than anything else. The problems, individual problems, if I have this connection, I'm probably going to find a way to resolve most of them. Without the connection, not very likely I'll be successful. So as you go through, as you change in your life and you go through different stages and situations, you're going to pray for different things. If you have a really serious immediate problem, sure, you're going to pray for that resolution. If it's an emergency or anything like that, that's what you're going to pray for naturally. If you don't have that really pressing, urgent need, then your brain is going to look for what things are most important to pray for.
So what kind of benefits can you get from these life force energy transmissions?
That's just it. The benefits can appear in just about any area of a person's life. Again, on the Trivedi Effect, people have recorded their feedback on that website in so many different areas. General health is a big area that people see improvement in. Relationships is another area. Careers, emotional balance, sexual fulfillment, self-confidence, sleep patterns, finances. I think just about everybody. This is just now what I'm saying next is not scientific or proven. What I'm saying right now is just strictly my own opinion. But I personally think that just about everybody sees an improvement in their attitude, in their perception, and in their level of consciousness. It just seems like this energy shifts your point of view to a different way of thinking and feeling about things.
Do you have some examples from your own life experience? Would you be willing to share a little bit about what happened for you so that people can get an idea about why you believe in this so much? Because you said that you've been involved since 2012. So you have to believe that this is really working and improving your life. Do you have any personal stories or maybe any stories from people you've worked with this energy that you could share with me today?
Well, my own story is the one I can use. In the years 2009 and 2010, I had a whole series of really terrible, painful, unexpected experiences. And by the time it got to the middle of 2010, I was really desperate. I didn't know what to do because nothing was working in my life. Everything was going wrong. And I was just totally frustrated and confused. So I started searching on the internet for all kinds of healing modalities, all kinds of transformational leaders, all kinds of gurus. And I started getting emails with transformational leaders, recorded interviews and with radio hosts, MP3s, just all kinds of things. And I tried everything, 3 or 4 a week, everything, and nothing did any good. And then finally, in the summer of 2012, I got an email, and it had a link to open up to watch and listen to a recording from Guruji Trivedi. And he did offer his services at the introductory offer, and I took advantage of it. And I went to sleep that night, and it just happened, this little webinar, I viewed it in the evening. I went to sleep. I thought, well, okay, I don't feel anything. Another wasted money. I'll keep trying. Tomorrow, the next day, though, when I got up and I went for a brief walk, I had a very, very profound shift in my perception. And it's really hard to put that shift into words, but I guess the best way I can say it is that my problems didn't nearly seem as big as they were before. It's like if somebody was shouting in your ear compared to somebody who's whispering in your ear. I'm going for my walk, I'm enjoying the beauty of the nature and feeling the breeze on my face, but all the horrible problems I'm thinking about, they just don't seem that big of a deal anymore. And that really made things, from then on, my life was so much more manageable because I could deal with my problems in a more rational way. I didn't have to get so emotionally caught up in them. And that has been the big thing. Again, I tried everything you could imagine, and nothing really made a difference. I thought it was going to make a difference. It sounded good. I wanted it so desperately to make a difference, but I just could not see a difference. The Trivedi Effect, immediately I saw a difference. So naturally, I'm going to stick with what makes a difference. And I've stuck with the Trivedi Effect ever since then.
Wow, that's pretty phenomenal because like you said that you tried all kinds of different methods and modalities, but the Trivedi Effect really worked. And the Trivedi Effect is not any type of trick or tool or modality. It really is a transmission of energy.
Exactly, and that's the big difference. Everything else I tried was guided meditation, listen to MP3s, brainwave modulation, play this, do that, do this, do that, play this, try this, listen to this, on and on and on. The Trivedi Effect, just let God do it. Big difference.
That's really phenomenal. So I have a question. You actually are a scientifically validated life force energy healer. You offer this energy to different people. Now, you work with people long distance or remotely and online. Are these as are potent, or do these work just as well in a remote setting as they do in person? And if so, why?
That is a good question, and the answer is yes, they do. Mr. Trivedi himself has guaranteed that to us. And again, every experience that I've had has been remotely, from receiving energy transmissions from Mr. Trivedi. I can't say every. I did visit his. I did see him in person in November of 2017 and January of 2017. Other than that, the whole 6 years, I have received every energy transmission remotely, and that is because. And now, this is hard to believe. This energy does not appear to be limited by time or space. It violates the laws of physics. It goes to the person that he intends, and space and time just do not have any effect on it at all.
So basically, then again, if it is the life force energy, then obviously you are dealing with the creator, so it's an intelligent energy. So could I have too many of these life force blessings?
The evidence suggests that it's not really possible to do that, because there's no harm that can come from these. It's actually the opposite way around. The more you receive these energy transmissions or blessings, the faster that you are going to transform and the more benefits you're going to get. Alice Branton, who's the CEO of Trivedi Effect, compared this situation with an athlete who has a frequent exercise program to shed weight, to tone their body. The more frequently they exercise, the more they're going to benefit. So just like that, these energy transmissions are really going to benefit you more the more you get. If you have a healer that offers a daily transmission program, that's the best one if you're really committed to really grow quickly in health, success, prosperity, and higher consciousness.
So you mentioned that so while your life is improving, you're also developing a higher consciousness or a higher spiritual connection. I had a question related to when do you get these life force energy? Is it, do you need to be awake or are you asleep? When is the best time to receive the energy?
Actually, you can receive it at any time. That if you're gonna be awake, if you're gonna have an administered scheduled transmission, you do want to be in a quiet room all by yourself. You want to be completely free from distractions or interruptions. That's the main thing. If you're in a quiet place and you just are free from distractions, you can receive this energy perfectly. Also, if you receive it when you're asleep, it's even better, because there's no possibility of our brains producing all that jibbery jabbery noise they always produce. So yes, sleep is probably even the perfect way to get it.
So during sleep, because obviously then you're sleeping, and then you, like you just said, you don't have the monkey or the mind chatter of
Exactly.
this, that, and the other thing. So if somebody's wondering about this, how does this work with, let's say that you're under a doctor's medical care, would you substitute this, or would it be complementary to any other medical things that you're doing?
Oh, absolutely the latter, complementary. If you are under doctor's care for a certain condition, yeah, stick with that. The doctor knows what he's doing. You may see better benefits from whatever healing modality you're currently experiencing. But yeah, none of us are claiming any kind of medical affiliation. We do not have medical backgrounds. We do not intend medical results. What we intend to do is to connect people to their inner guidance system, to connect people to the God of their understanding. It's really the same thing. And once they have that connection, then, well, it's hard to say what could happen, but a lot of good things can happen.
Well, I think you're right there, because obviously, even if you think about it, God is love, and love is the highest vibration of that creative force. So I really enjoyed learning more about this. So you actually work with people, and can you tell me how, if somebody wants to reach out to you to learn more or to start receiving energy life force transmissions, how they can do that?
Sure, just go to my website, markstutheit.com. That's my first and last name run together.com. Go to my website and you'll find the various contact methods there. You'll also find good general information about the particular healing modality that I offer. Ways to contact me. You'll find the research I did documented and all kinds of good stuff.
So you'll find the science and the programs you offer, including answers to the frequently asked questions and some media. It's actually a very comprehensive website. I'm actually looking at it right now, and I see that you've also started a blog. So you have a blog that's talking a little bit about your journey, and then, of course, you have all kinds of good information there. So anyway, Mark, I really appreciate all the time you took with me today. And everyone, go check out Mark's website. In the show notes, you'll find a direct link, so it'll be very easy to find. Before I let you go, Mark, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, thank you. I think you did ask some very good questions, and I'm just very grateful that I was able to communicate my basic ideas so well. And thank you very much for your time, Tammy.
Well, thank you, Mark. Everyone, this is Tammy Patzer. Go make it a beautiful day.
You've been listening to today's top health and wellness innovators and thought leaders on Optimal Health Radio. To get more solid health and wellness information, visit optimalhealthradio.com.